righty.
And we are preparing to upload, connect to the live stream, and I will prepare to record.
Okay, it says live for me. Just let me know when it's okay to get my lighting right.
Okay, I will be recording now.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to John Lewis Invictus Academy's Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda. I'll start over. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to John Lewis Invictus Academy's Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I would like to remind everyone that this is a meeting of the Go Team, and only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. And for members of the Go Team, please identify yourself when you speak. I'm pleased to call this meeting of the John Lewis Invictus Academy's Go Team in order at 5:17. Our first order of business is to call the roll. Ms. Miller, can you please take roll for us, please?
Yes, Ramon Garner.
Present.
Aisha Master. Andrea Leslie. Carisha Rump is present. Rosalind Triplett. Roy Cogdell.
Present.
Joyce Jones.
Present.
And I am present. Thank you.
Awesome. This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Ms. Miller, is the quorum present?
Yes, ma'am, we do have a quorum.
Awesome. Okay, we will now proceed with tonight's discussion and information items. Action items will be tabled. Okay, we're gonna start with the action items, and our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies are here if you need them. Are there any changes that need to be made to the agenda at this time?
None.
Okay, well, may I have a motion to approve the agenda? Anyone?
I would like to make a motion that we approve the agenda.
Can I have a second?
I can't make motions or second, can I? I don't think I can.
I second.
Okay.
Thank you, Roy. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Awesome. All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please say abstain. Okay, we will approve and we will review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The minutes have been provided to you, and it doesn't seem like there need to be any corrections except that I guess we'll just add that this is a pre-budget review. So our first action is to approval of previous minutes. We did that. Okay, so we're going to talk about the parent seat approval. Ms. Miller, if you want to start with that, that's our first action item of tonight.
At this time, I'd like to request and say that declarations are now open until February 2022 Go Team election.
Points of clarity. This is for the upcoming elections, or is this for a parent seat that we have right now?
Vacant.
It's a vacancy right now. Okay. All right.
So the last time we spoke, we realized that we had 2 open seats. Mr. Roy is so graciously filling the community seat, and so now we have a vacancy for the parent seat. And so this is just to start to get our wheels turning to try to think about and suggest and nominate some parents that would be a great addition to the Go Team. And so we'll just put on the items that we have in a vacancy, and then so the Go Team can start working to figure out who we would love to join as a parent. So I think that we're okay to move on from this item. If everyone's okay, or I'm sorry, does anyone have any suggestions or nominations for any John Lewis Invictus Academy parents?
Not at the moment, but we should be able to have a recommendation by our next meeting. hopefully.
Okay, the second item of discussion and the action item is the pre-budget review. So Principal Gurn, if you can take it away.
All right, thank you and good evening once again to everyone. I'm going to share my screen here and pull up our budget. Can everyone see my screen?
Mhm.
All right, so this is, as you can see, for fiscal school year 2023. Our projected enrollment is 775 students, which is a change in enrollment or a decrease of about 118 students. Our district always does a conservative budget. Our enrollment right now currently sits at right around 800 to 830 students. So this projection, I think is low. When I speak to our counselor, she says, and she can see in the system how many kids have already rolled over for the next year, and she says over 800 students. So, but that doesn't guarantee that all those students will come. So our district typically, like I said, gives us a conservative budget, and this is our budget and our number. As I scroll down some, you can see we're projected to have 233 sixth grade students. Oh, and each per pupil cost is $4,506. So for the amount of students that we have, we earn $3,492. $3,492,302. As I scroll down, these are things that I definitely am thankful and grateful for that our district provides. So we do have we do receive funding for poverty. We receive funding for concentration of poverty. We receive funding for EIP and RAP, special education, gifted, and the list goes on of the breakdowns of the funds that we receive in our school. Our signature programming, our turnaround budget, so on and so forth, which if you look at this seems like a lot, but it's not. And because where we are right now with our staffing, I'm working hard with the team to make sure we can keep all of our staff because, that 118 students, if you do the math, if you do the 118 times that $4,506 per student earns, then you will see where how much funding we are lacking, which in turn has an impact on some of the things that we're able to do for our staff, like bonuses for hiring new staff, attracting the most, the best and highly qualified teachers to come teach at our school. It affects that, right? It affects some of the in-house things that we may be able to do to keep staff motivated, or materials and supplies that we are able to purchase for our students. And so, when the budget's tight like that, then you have to end up, having abolishments. So in that you may not be able to keep all of the staff that you have currently, which all the staff that we have, we need, and we're doing great things with. So, those are some of the things that we faced if enrollment does go down. I want any questions about this? You're on mute.
When are these numbers reported and then calculated into the budget, especially if the counseling team are seeing different numbers coming in? A lot of the students are transient students. So sort of how does, this go into, and I'm seeing it's for next year, but
Right.
will they take in another number or a final count, or when do those things happen?
Absolutely, that's exactly what happens, but it won't happen until the school year begins. So this is the budget that we will start the year with. We will staff based off of this. And what happens is, and when we have what's called FTE, where we get an accurate count and report it to the state of how many students we actually have in the building that's reported. If it's more than that, then we would earn those funds back.
And then you have to go back into hiring in the middle of the school year.
I think though we'll be fine in that we won't have a lot of impact. There will be some minor impact, but I think we'll be in a place where we won't be impacted too much as it relates to positions for staff. I think we'll be able to, it'll be tight, but we'll be able to balance it with, not as much impact. We also receive CARES funding, which will help us out some as well. All right, good question though. Any other questions? All right. So these are just a few of the other tabs. That's just, what the district fills in for us, number of days for teachers. So that's pretty high. Hopefully we won't need $86,000 for substitutes, but you never know. But this is based off if we had, all of our teachers missed 12 days. This funding right here, we won't need any substitutes for myself or assistant principals or anybody like that. So we'd be able to shift this money back into the budget. Same here, paraprofessional. We don't have substitutes for paraprofessionals. So should be able to shift that roughly, $4,000, a little bit more, back into the general funds. For our turnaround budget, you see what funds are there, and this is all, we have a consolidated budget, so all of the money is in one budget, which I like a lot, because it just puts everything in one tab as opposed to you got title one budget or you have this budget here. So I like that, and these numbers have to balance out to zero as well. So we still have about $31,000 to allocate here in our turnaround funds. And then overall, this is, where the money goes. So you can see, 76% of our funds go towards instruction or teachers, staff is where the money is spent primarily. You can see that 3% is allocated right now for educational media services. Administration takes up 8%. Involvement of instructional services is another 6%. And then 7%, pupil services, meaning different tools and materials and supplies that we would have to purchase for kids. We also have to set aside a nice chunk of the budget for just in case we don't have enough staff, then we have to set money aside so we don't lose individuals as well. So again, a lot of everything is kind of predicated on what happens at that FTE count, which is, I believe, October, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Ms. Miller? October. But that's kind of where we are. My work in this is, again, to look, closely at what we have and come back to this team with recommendations on positions that, may need to be abolished or any other shifts that we want to make academically within our school. That work is still being done. But again, before the staffing conference, which is the 24th, we will come back together with my final recommendations to take to the staffing conference. Any questions?
If we, basically, we know that there's a certain, money that won't be allocated, and then maybe this is something that Caroline or someone else, or you can answer, Principal Garner, but can the Go team also have like suggestions of like fundraising or reaching out to other partners so that, staff members can be the last, if we just think about it, that's the last thing that needs to happen for, great staff members to leave during this time during COVID, and just in general, the population just has so much need. So are there ways in which that we can reach out to corporate partners and sponsors and other businesses to see like how we can overcome the budget cuts on our own?
Absolutely. Well, yes. I think anybody who wants to make a donation needs to put in writing exactly what you will want to donate towards. I think, teachers and staff are, really, it's expensive. So if you say, for instance, here, let me see. If I show you this, right? So they use a formula so that, no school has to pay. I may have a teacher as a first-year teacher that costs one amount, and there may be a teacher, 30-year teacher with a doctorate degree that costs, another amount. So they do an average. So the average cost of a teacher, including benefits, is $91,424. That's for one teacher. I don't believe that we would need to lose any teachers. I think, we would be funded, okay with that. But some of the positions like, a paraprofessional costs $43,699. That's not necessarily that person's salary, but that's including benefits that come along with it as well. So, so yes, to answer your question regarding,
Okay, thanks.
yeah, we would accept that, but
And then I'm just asking, so this
the
is.
purchase a person is expensive.
Right, okay, thanks for that.
Okay, that's really all I have at this moment, team, as it relates to, kind of show you where we are as far as the funding goes. Are there any other questions, or Ms. Barnett, did you have anything that we needed to do that we're not doing here? And if not, that's all I have as it relates to the budget for tonight, for this evening.
No, I don't have anything for, if you're finished with your agenda, I don't have anything. Thanks for the overview and just walking them through the initial budget and your thoughts. And I'm sure the team will have some more questions or input for the next session, especially when we start talking about trade-offs.
Right, absolutely. Okay. All right.
Well, we'll move from action items to discussion items. Are there any discussion items that anyone on the team wants to add to the schedule for now or for the next meeting? Okay, information items. We have the principal's report that we went over last week. Thanks so much, Ms. Miller. Mr. Garner, are there any other additional things you'd like to discuss from the principal's report?
No, I think Ms. Miller did a great job, and just in all transparency, guys, I was out last week, was battling COVID. I am fully vaccinated and boosted, and so I was able to bounce back relatively quickly, but that's why I was out. But no, Ms. Miller did a great job. You know about the events that we have that are coming up. Really excited about really excited about the opening of the service center. Ms. Miller, did we talk about CBS 46? Coming tomorrow, actually. Coming out tomorrow to take a look at our wellness center, teacher wellness. They're doing an interview here. They're going to interview somebody from the district, but just good. We want to control the narrative with all positivity coming out of our school about some of the great things that's happening here because of our teachers and our students and our other staff members. So that's happening tomorrow. And yeah, that's it. Getting ready for our student conferences, where the students will ownership conferences, where they will know exactly where they land. Starting Saturday school this Saturday, focused around targeted instruction. So a lot of great things that's happening and that's going on. We just got to keep up the good work.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, it seems as though that is the end of the information items. Does anyone have any announcements? February 22nd, we're looking forward to the ribbon cutting. So I hope everyone will be there in their John Lewis colors. But other than that, are there any other announcements that we need to discuss? Anything? Well, we have reached the end of our agenda. And it seems as though there aren't any additional business at this time. So may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye. Okay.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstention? Okay, well, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see each other again this month, and of course on the 22nd when we meet for the amazing ribbon cutting. Have a
All
good
right.
evening, guys.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.